Hi and good morning everyone. Today we will present about our project for our object-oriented programming course. First, we will start with our introduction. We introduce ourselves of our team members. First of all, I am Stephen Raj, son of James, and my metric number is AA191860.
So my name is Taruna Kugan and my matric number is AA190829.
My name is Nalini Hood. My chemistry number AA190881.
And my name is Mosha Satyakumar and my metric number is AA190076.
So this is from our team's introduction. So now we will present about our project's contents all. So in our project's content, there is six types of things involved in our project. So first of all is our project background, and then second is problem statement. Third is followed by project objective. Fourth is project scope. Fifth is significance of our project. And the last part is UML diagrams, which is divided into 4 types, and we will look about that later. So first of all, we will proceed with our project's background.
So today I will explain about project background. We had given a project for our object-oriented programming course where we were required to develop a program. We developed the code for the Student Management System SMGS program. Before start to develop this program, we searched a lot of articles such as we refer to Wikipedia that provide about the management system, which very useful to carry out for our system and report. Also to gain the basic idea of what kind of function that we must have in our program, which will allow us to develop the code for an admin who is able to manage a student account which similar to what functionalities that the admin will have in a real world system, and they can only view their personal detail. Also, the system provides capabilities for an admin to register or create new student account, update, view, search, and remove student account, while the student has the capability to view the student detail. We developed this program using Java programming language. Next, problem statement. There is likelihood of record in manual file system to become lost as there are many records that need to manage. So, lost record will make some of the student information not exist in the school as one of the primary issue. The admin have problem when managing as well as maintaining student information, updating, viewing, deleting, and searching for a particular student where they utilize manual file system. Next, the other problem is that when using manual file system, it will become ineffective because the student cannot be notified within their information and they cannot be able to view their information at any time that they need. So this issue can be overcome by using a student management system program, which will be easier and more effective to manage the student information. So I pass my presentation to Mohisha.
So thank you for that. And now we will look about our project objective.
Our main objective is to develop a program that provides easier, efficient, powerful, and comfortable for administrators and students in a university. The second is to reduce the lost information by storing it into a fixed place in a computer so that the information of students would not be scattered. To provide account management functionality, view, update, search, create, and remove. for administrators without any loss of information, and increase reliability, efficiency, and to reduce the manual work of managing the students' information. And lastly, to provide the searching functionality for a student to view his or her personal details and allows the students to access their personal details at any time and they want to view.
So after that, we will proceed with our project scope for our student management system.
The scope of our project are admin and students who are the users have access to use this system. And admin can manage their students' details by using the functionalities of an admin in this system, which is to create a new student account, search an existing student account in the system, update information in an existing account, student account, view existing student account information, and remove an existing student account from the system. The admin can easily manage the student's account detail and able to change or update their students' information with new information at any time. Following that, the other scope is the student who can only view their own personal details in this system. Thank you.
So now we will look about the significance of our project.
Thank you, Stephen. Let me explain about significance of project. The significance of our project is to replace the method or why that have been used to manage student information, which is comprised of a lot of cons, such as will have high possibility for the information to be lost or missed. Besides, second, our system provides flexibility for the student by delivering the authority to search for particular student, which is not possible if manual file system as an admin have to go through or record in order to search for one. Moreover, the system that we are developing support three contributing the functionality to create a new account as in manual file system, it tends to be hard to note that new information as there will not be enough space to add new information. We can see the manual file system would be more complicated to perform such kind of thing easily and quickly when compared with a digital system which allows us to effectively manage the student account detail with more functionalities. 4. Allow an admin to easily manage student information within the functionalities to create, view, update, search, and remove a student account detail, whereas the student can easily log into this system to view his details.
So that's all for the significance of our project. So now we will look about the UML diagrams that involved in our project. So as I said in the introduction of our contents, so there are four kind of UML diagram, which is use case diagram, activity diagram, and class diagram, and the last one is a sequence diagram. So first we proceed with the UML diagram is the use case diagram. So this is our use case diagram. There is a main login user use case. So it will be inherited by the login student and login admin. So we are having two kind of actors, which is categorized into the user category. So it's called as admin and student. So first of all, we will look about the admin. So the admin have the functionality for login. So that's the login admin use case. So and then he can verify a student account, and it will be inherited by four more use cases, which will named as create student account, search student accounts, update student accounts, and remove student accounts. And then also admin can view student accounts that exist in our system. So next we will see about the functionalities of student. So student can log in student, which means student can log in as a student in our system. So and then student can view student details, which means student can view their particular their specific details or personal details in our system that exist. So next we will proceed to our activity diagram. So first we will look about the view student details. So in the view student details, they can view their personal details and then it will exit from there. And then we look about the view student account. Same goes here. We can view their student details, student account, which means they can only view their student accounts. And then for the create student account, this is for the admin functionality, which is it will first following with the input metric number, and then the entered input metric number will verify student account is that the account is exist or not in the system. If the account is not exist, it will allow to create a student account by the admin. If not, if the account is not, if the account is exist, so it will exit from the condition and it will navigate to the main menu. Now we will look over the other activity diagram. So first we look about the login admin. So for the login admin, there is a loop condition. So it will see the admin ID that entered by the login, that entered by the admin is correct or not, and following with the admin password. So the entered admin ID and password, admin password will be checked whether it is correct or not. So if that one matches the admin ID and admin password, so it will ask to input a admin ID and admin password. So next we will exit from the loops and going into another loop. So it will check the admin exists or not. If the admin exists, it will allow to admin menu, and then it will ask for a choice. So there are 6 kind of choice. So the first choice is create a student account. If the admin exists in our system, it will allow him to create a student account. And then the second choice is update student account. The third choice is view student account, and the fourth choice is the search student account. And following that, the fifth choice is remove student accounts. If the admin doesn't click any choice from 1 to 5, and there is another choice is this 0. If the admin enter the 0, it will exit the program. So admin can perform 5 different kind of functionality here. And then we look about the student functionality, which is login student. After the login student will be asked to enter an input metric number and then input password. So if all the elements in the array list is matches, it will allow him to continue the loop, and it will search the student within the entered metric number and password. And then if the student exists in the system, it will allow him to go into the student menu, and then it will ask for a choice, same as the login that we looked before this. So there is a two kind of choice, which is choice 1 and choice 0. So if the student enter choice 1, it will allow him to view student details, which is he can view his own personal details. And then if he enter 0, it will exit the program. So at here, if the student not exist, it will allow him back to the main menu, and then it will exit from the loop and navigate to the menu. So next we will look over the other activity diagram. So for the remove student accounts, we will ask to input metric number, and the entered metric number will verify student account. If the account is exist, it will allow to remove student accounts. So it will performed by an admin in our system. So if the account is not exist, it will display an error message like the student account is not exist in our system, and it will next following to the navigate to main menu. Next, for the search student accounts, we will same like the before. So we will ask to input metric number. So the entered metric number will be verify the student account, and if the account is in our system, it will display the searched student account, the searched student account's information out. So if the student account is not exist in our system, it will display an error like the student account is not exist in our system. So following that, we will navigate to the menu. So after that, for the update student account, it will also require a metric number. So after an admin enter the metric number, it will verify the student account. If the student account is existing in our system, it will allow to update student account. It will ask for a choice. There is a three kind of different choice. So the first choice is update password. Second choice is update address. Third choice is update subject code. So depends on the choice that have been entered, they can perform this kind of functionalities all. And the last choice is when admin did not enter choice from 1 to 3, it will automatically go into this else statement, which is display entered wrong choice. So it will indicate that the choice have been entered is a wrong choice and will exit from the if statement and navigate to the navigate menu. If the account is not exist, when the entered metric number is verified, and it will say like the account is not exist in our system, it will go into the display error message, which is like it will indicate that the student account is not exist in our system. So it will also go into the navigate to main menu, and then for the verify student account, it will search the student details first. So it will go into a loop, which is for matches the element in array list. Like it will search for a student details that we stored in our array list. In the array list, there is a lot of student details. So the search student details will be going into the loop, and it will look over the elements in the array list that will for match or found the student that we search. So after that, it will go into the loop. So if the student exists, it will showing like student found. If the student is not exist, it will showing like student not found, and then it will exit the loop and exit the program. So now we will look about the class diagram. So there is about three different classes in our project. So first is login class. It will be inherited by two different classes, which is admin class and student class. In the login class, there is a protected attribute, which is password, and the data type is string. And then there is a method, which is menu, and the return type of the method is void. And we look over the inherited classes, which is admin and student. For the admin class, there is an attribute called admin ID, and the data type is string. The admin ID is a private attribute. And then for the methods, there is got different kind of methods in admin, because the functionality of admin is very big. So the first method is search student. There is a parameter that have been received by this method, which is all student, and the data type for the all student array list is a student data type, and the return data type is a void. Following that, there is update student method, remove student method, view student method, create student method, verify student method, and navigate admin menu. So for the admin student menu, update student, and until for the verify student, the parameters all same as I said in the search student. But for the verify student, there is a parameter for all student, and the data type is student type. And it will also receive metric number, which is a string. And this method for the verify student method is a integer return type. And for the navigate admin menu, it will also receive array list called all student within the data type, student data type, and the return data type is a void. After that, we look up the student class. There is a lot of attributes here for the student, which is name, which is a string data type, metric number, this is string data type, age, which is a integer data type, date of birth is a string data type, IC number is a string data type, address is a string data type, subject code is a string data type also, and all the attributes that have been involved in a student class is a private attributes. And we look about the methods that have been involved in student class. So there is a view student details, which is also receive a parameter called all student within the data type is a student data type, and the return data type for the method is void. The next method is navigate student menu. The navigate student menu receive a array list called all students within a student data type, and the method is a method's return data type is a void. So next we will look about the sequence diagram, and for this my teammate Karana Kuram will explain about it.
Okay, the first sequence diagram is to verify the student account because before executing any operation by the admin for search, delete, update, and view, the, the program will verify the student account first whether the student is in the array list or not. So the admin actor will interact with the admin class. So he will interact with the verify student method, which will pass the all students array list of student data type and the metric number of the particular search student. Okay, then there is a loop fragment operator where it loops until all the elements on the array list, and there is a alternative option for if and else. So if the metric number is in the metric number entered is in the array list, that means it will execute a particular action, and if the metric number is in the if not in the array list, it will execute particular action. There are no interaction between these classes inside of this admin class because lifeline because we will just print a message written a number instead of interacting with other classes. So that's why we are not having any of the methods or any of the messages synchronous or asynchronous here because we just print a message here. Then when we see at the view student account fragment operator, the fragment operator, there is an admin who is the actor of this, and he will interact with the admin class. So there are two classes here, admin class and student class here. So the view student method receives a parameter of all students, and and there is a loop fragment operator which will loop through all the elements in the array list. So the admin to view a student in this program, the admin will get the name of the will use the getter method to interact with the student class, and it will receive a result. Same as that, he will interact with the student class in order to return a value. So the getter methods are name, metric number, age, IC number, and subject code. So he will interact and he will ask the result of a particular user. So this loop will loop through until all the students. So the first student we will get the name of the student, metric number, age, IC number, and subject code of a particular student, and then we will loop through the second student. So after this, after printing all this, we will call the method named as navigate admin menu, which receives all students as the parameter. So this navigate menu will call a self message because the method navigate admin menu is in the admin class. So then we have the view student details fragment operator. The actor of this sequence diagram is the student actor, where he will call the view student details method and interact with the student class. The student class will just print the messages. So that's why we're not having any interaction here. We'll just print the message, and then we will call the navigate admin menu, which receives all students parameter. Okay, next page. So the following is that we will create about the create student accounts fragment operator, the sequence diagram. So inside of that, we have an admin actor who will interact with the admin class to create a student, and the method he will interact with the admin class is that create student, which receives all student as a parameter. So we have a loop fragment operator here, and inside of that we have an optional fragment operator, and inside of that we have a break statement. Okay, what this means is that the loop will iterate until it matches all the requirements of the students entered. It means that when the admin creates a student account, he must follow certain rules, like the subject code must start with DAT and then followed by 5 numeric characters, which is 1603, like that. And then let's say for the metric number, the first two characters must be the capitalized A. So A and followed by five numeric characters, 190829, sorry, six numeric characters. Okay, so that is why we have to match the requirements. If didn't match, it will loop through until it matches all the requirements. Then inside of this loop, we have the we have the optional fragment operator, which will verify a student. So when the admin enter the metric number, it will verify the student whether the metric number is in the program or not. If the metric number exists in our program, it will break the loop and exit the program, because we cannot use the redundant metric number. We need to use new metric number for every new student, right? So that's why we have a fragment operator here. And then this fragment operator is using a verify student, have the condition of verify student, the function call whether the result is equal to 1 or not. And then we will call the verify student method. So the break is that the condition to break is that the metric number in array list is equal to the metric number passed in, which means if the entered metric number is equal to the metric number in the array list, or in other words, there is a student having the same metric number, it will break out of the loop. Else or otherwise, we will create a student by calling the constructor. We can see through the process 1.2. We will call the constructor student, passing the name, metric number, password, age, date of birth, IC number, address, subject code, which is received from the user input, to the student class. We are interacting with the student class, and then we are returning a result. Actually, there is no result actually here. So then after that, after the loop exits, we have a navigate admin menu, which receives all students parameter. This navigate admin menu will display whether the admin wants to go to the main menu, admin menu, or the exit the program. So there is a login admin functionality. So the login admin functionality wants to check whether the admin is verified admin or not. We are only having one admin in our program. So the one admin is admin 18, having the password as 1234. So the admin here, the admin actor will interact with the main class by calling the check admin method, which receives all students as a parameter. So the first is the looping fragment operator, which will loop matches admin ID and password entered. So in the admin class, we have restricted the admin ID will only be admin 18, and the password will only be 1234. So that means that it will loop through the setter and getter, which means we will call the constructor admin ID and admin password until the admin ID and admin password matches the admin 18 and 1234. If not matches, we will just loop until they enter the right metric number, because we have only one admin in our program. So we have to make sure that the particular admin logins the program. So we have to match the admin that is entered. So so the loop will interact with the admin class for every iteration. So then we have the optional fragment operator, like if only. So the condition of this optional operator is that it must matches the admin ID and password entered. If it matches, then it will continue the program to the next part. So the process 1.2 specifies that we are calling a menu method by passing all student parameter. The menu method is to display whether the user want to create a student, update a student, view student, search, or remove the student. So the sub process are 1.2, 1.2.2, 3, and 4 and 5. Okay, then if the user and we have a alternative fragment operator here, so that we can see the if else multi-way. So when the choice equal to 1, we need to call the create student account. When the choice equal to 2, we need to call the update student. Choice equal to 3, view student account, and choice equal to 4, search student. So choice equal to 5, we must remove the student. All this choice 1 to 5 will receive all students array list as a parameter. So if the user enter the choice 0, they will exit the program by calling the main classes a method. So the main class method is exit program. So it will be used to exit this program. So they will be back to the main class again. So next slide. Okay, then we have the login student here, where the student is the actor of this program. He will interact with this main class by calling the check student and passing all student as a parameter. So the check student, the main class, and we have the student class here. Okay, there is a fragment, there's a loop fragment operator here. Okay, the loop fragment operator will loop through all the elements in the array list. So to match whether the metric number that the user entered is in the array list or not. So if we have an alternative fragment operator here, if the metric number is in the array list, we will perform some action. If not, we will perform some action. If the metric number is in the array list, then we will allow the student to call the menu method in the student class, which will display the functions that the student can do in this program. So he can only view the student's details. So there is an alternative fragment operator here. So if the choice is equal to 1, he will view the student details. If the choice is equal to 0, the user will be navigated to the exit program method, where it is placed in the main class. Okay. So then after performing these operations, there is a navigate admin menu the process 1.3, which is to tell the user whether you want to go to this menu or other menus. Then the remove student accounts. The remove student accounts, the editor of this program is the admin. So he will call the remove student account method first, and then he will interact with the admin class. So in this admin class, we have the alternative fragment operator, and inside of this we have a loop fragment operator with the optional fragment operator. So when we're removing a student, we must first check whether the student exists or not. So that is why this alternative is used here. So the verify student method will verify the student whether he's in the program or not. If yes, it will return 1. If no, it will just continue to the else part. Okay. If yes, then we will loop through all the elements in the array list, and then when looping through all the elements, there will be a condition where the metric number in the array list will match the metric number that entered. So loop if inside of a loop. So when the metric number matches, we have to remove the student here, but actually we will be removing the index of the array list. But as there are no interaction here with the student class, so there are no synchronous asynchronous message. So then we come to the else part. If the verified student is not in the account, we will just print a message. Then we will call the navigate admin menu, which will display a menu whether the user want to go to the admin menu or the main menu. Okay, next slide. Or exit the program as well. Okay. So then we have the search student accounts fragment operator here, sequence diagram here. So the admin is the actor of this program, where the admin will search the student in the will call the search student method to interact with the admin class. The search student have all students as the parameter here. Okay, then we have an alternative fragment operator. Inside of that, we have a loop fragment operator with the alternative fragment operator again. So the alternative fragment operator verifies whether the student is equal to is in the program or not. After verifying, we will call the loop fragment operator to loop through all the elements. When looping through all the elements, the metric number that the user entered will be equal to the metric number in the array list. When it is equal to the number in the array list, then we will get the name. We will as we are searching the student, we will get the name, metric number, age, get IC number, and subject code. These are the getter methods that will interact through the student class. Okay, then it will return the result, which is the name of the if we call the get name method, it will return the result as the name. If we call the get metric number method, it will return the metric number as the result. So after performing all these functions, if the metric number is not in the array list, then we will display error message. Then we will call the navigate admin menu. We will call the navigate admin menu method, which will receive all students as the parameter. Okay. Then the last one is the update student accounts sequence diagram. So here the admin will interact with the update student accounts, which will receive an array list of students. So there is an alternative fragment operator. Inside of this fragment operator, we have three choices. So let's say when we will verify the student is in if is in the array list or not. If it is in the array list, then when we will ask the user to enter 1, 2, or 3. The 1, 2, or 3 is based on whether they want to update a password, address, or a subject code. So when the alternative when the user enters 1, they will be looping through the array, and then when the array matches the array, the metric number entered matches the metric number in the array list, they will set the new password to the student by updating the existing information. So if the choice equal to 2, they will perform the sum operation, but they will update the address information of a particular student. And then if the choice is equal to 3, they will be updating the subject code information. And the last part is that we will ask the user to navigate admin menu, whether they want to go to the admin menu or admin menu or the main menu, or exit the program. Thank you.
Okay, that's it from our team for our project. So thank you.